Hello, book lovers, and welcome to Book Talk Radio Club. My name is Claire Perkins, and today I'm talking to author Samantha Fidler-Newby. Samantha is the author of The Thornless Rose. A single night can change a person indefinitely. After a vicious attack, a new and dangerous ability awakens in Viviana. Now she can manipulate fire, and it's fueled by her emotions. On top of this, she's having a difficult time controlling herself with all the skeletons she keeps finding in her family's closet. With this new ability, she must seek training to keep herself from harming others. Scared to leave everyone she loves behind, but afraid of losing control at any moment, she must embark on a journey to the Sun Shrine in the kingdom of Celestius for help. Along the way, she will learn secrets of the past that will change her forever. Hi, Samantha, and thank you for coming on Book Talk Radio Club.
Hi, Claire. It's so great to be here.
Thank you. So, The Thornless Rose is a mixture of romance, mystery, magic, adventure, and fantasy. In which time period is the book set?
I would say it's definitely in the medieval Renaissance period, probably more Renaissance than medieval. But you still have like your lords and ladies, your knights, that kind of structure,
Right.
so to say, for the actual government itself. Castles, all of those kind of things. Questing is a big part of kind of that time period. But I do kind of include some pieces of more modern, so like the moon, the sun, naming those kind of things, stars, even sometimes there's a clock involved sometimes, so they know a little bit more than probably they would in that time period. That would be probably closer to like Victorian age, which is another one I love. So a little bit of a mix.
So you mixed it up a bit. I like that idea.
Yeah, I mixed a little bit. I don't want to go too crazy and do too much of like almost a steampunk type of thing, but I still want to give it that ambiance of a more Renaissance period.
Absolutely. Your heroine, Viviana, possesses magical healing powers. How does she apply these?
She uses her hands, definitely. And then there's a part of her that she actually figured out that her blood is even more powerful than her hands. So being able to apply it directly to wounds, using an elixir with her blood in it to administer it as well, again, is something that's even more potent than just the healing touch. But the healing touch can also be a different type of effect to people, so she can draw more of really pain from people and help their body heal faster. So
unfortunately, though, she absorbs the pain, doesn't she? And the suffering of many of her patients. Many healers experience this unfortunate effect at the beginning. Have you written from experience? Are you a healer of some sort, Samantha?
I would say in part more mental, emotional. I kind of feel myself as being somewhat of an empath. So when people are having a bad day or, I worked in a hospital and I would be sitting outside on a break and I had somebody literally just start crying next to me, and the instinct to just say, "Are you okay? Like, what can I do for you?" I couldn't help myself. And so that person just literally cried on my shoulder and told me things about what was going on with her loved one in the hospital. And, just having somebody to cry on was cathartic for this person. And I actually thought for a long time of becoming a therapist, but then I was like, I need my own therapist after having my life that much. So I try to do it on very sporadic, whenever God wants me to intervene, that kind of a thing. But I do see myself a bit as a healer.
And do you when you say you're a bit of an empath, do you absorb the pain and the suffering that you sense from these people?
Oh, absolutely. It is. I've been in places where, like, in a crowded room, and either it's like music or some sort of something going on, and that just wave of emotion hits, and it hits hard. And I've been around people who've been in extreme amount of pain, and I feel it. I do. I feel it in every fiber of my own bones, and it's hard. It's very hard to be around that. And I think that's probably another reason why I decided not to go into the medical field. I think that it would have put me in a position that wouldn't have allowed me to help as much as I needed to. It would have just caused probably too much pain to myself on that level.
Viviana must seek training to gain new levels of wisdom and skill, but is afraid to leave her family and friends behind. As I said before, she has to embark on a journey to the sunshine for help, but on the way learns of her family's story and that she's not who she thought she was. I think this is a great metaphor for the journey many of us experience. I mean, we have to move out of our comfort zone to become the person we were meant to be. If we stay with what is familiar and safe, we do not grow. Was this intentional?
Absolutely, of course. As I've said before, and I've told people before, it took me 15 years to write this book, and it wasn't because that I let the world get in the way. It was the fact that the world was changing me, and it was changing my writing style. It was changing my own voice, what I believed in, what I cared about, and everybody has that journey to take, whether it's literally leaving home. I went 3 hours away to college, and that was, I think, the place that I really changed myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of like with Viviana. I knew she had to change. She had to grow in some way. And many times you have to take some sort of journey, whether it's emotional, physical, spiritual, in whatever way you need to do. So absolutely intentional. And I think it speaks to a lot of readers in that sense.
I can believe it does. You've been receiving some good reviews over on Amazon, including Samantha Fidler-Newby spins a delightful tale of magical powers, romance, and family secrets that are slowly revealed, keeping you reading and turning the pages until the end. Good review. What was the best moment for you, Samantha? The first review or the first sale, and why?
That one's a real hard one because, of course, money in your pocket is great. Having that validation that someone finds enough worth in you to just say, okay, here, I'll take a chance. Being a new author, being a newbie at all of it, haha. But I think, honestly, having my husband, and I know it's a little biased, he is my husband, but he's a very slow reader, and he only reads Star Wars, horror books, for him to actually read through it in 3 days,
Wow.
and then be able to give me an honest review. And it wasn't even, oh, I love it, it's the most wonderful thing. It was, this kept me entertained, and that was like the big ta-da moment for me, is that I hit my goal. That was the absolute goal of this book.
Yeah.
And to have him say that was like, okay, I'm on the right track.
Yeah.
And again, having it over and over and over again through all of my reviews is, it's kept that fire going. So.
It's a good feeling, isn't it? Definitely.
It is great. It's so great.
I love the cover of your book. It's very eye-catching. Did you design it?
I definitely had the concept. In fact, I thought about having like a hand involved in it. But as I worked with an actual book cover designer, we kind of settled on the idea of just the rose itself. However, that whenever I moved away from being a self-published author, I actually worked with a publishing company, and Julie Casey, the one who owns it and operates it, she's the one who actually kind of helped revamp it enough to where it really popped the way that it does, gave it the background that it needed, the fire wrapping around on the back cover and everything. So in design-wise, yes, that was my idea, but having people who really know what they're doing, it's so helpful, helpful. So.
It is. And the book cover is the first thing people see before they even read the brief synopsis. The cover is going to draw their eye to it. Very, very simple.
Absolutely. Everyone judges a book by its cover. I don't care what you say. It's not, it's a part of it. So we're human beings. That's what we like, is sight. It draws us in.
As one reviewer says, and I quote, "This book contains everything I love in a fantasy: an exceptional story, engaging, believable characters, magic and romance." Tell me, Samantha, is there one particular author that inspired you to start writing?
That's a good question. Honestly, when I was in 4th grade, I read A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court by Mark Twain, and I think that was my first real taste of fantasy. So definitely sparked my interest in moving in that direction at some point in my life. Again, J.K. Rowling, I think I read the first one in Chamber of Secrets, first one. I read that when I turned 18 for another thing, and again, she kind of inspired that creativity, and said, if I can write it, then other people can write, and I think that also helped me. So those two really kind of hand in hand helped me pursue this storyline. It had been with me for a long time. I just never felt like I could be a writer until that time.
So is the Thornless Rose a one-off or the first in a series?
It's the first of a trilogy, and it may turn into more. I'm not sure yet. I have a lot of side quests and side characters that have a lot of depth to them that I could really add to it. And I even have like another trilogy or so, like 100 years in the future. I have that kind of already set in motion on the side. So if this was well received enough and I felt that I could put my energy into it, I would absolutely carry it on.
Right. You're a finalist in the Best in Fantasy genre for Book Talk Radio Club's 2018 awards. And I also see from the cover on your book that you have another award. Which one's that?
It's called the Indies Helping Indies Book Review by J.B. Richards. So it's IHIBR. And she actually, for free, reviewed my book. She did a call out for those who had 15 reviews or less, just to help give a boost. And she loves reading. So she sent me a thing saying, it was a wonderful book. She left a review and sent a little sticker thing that I could put on my book. And it was really helpful. It really has been helpful because people ask about that. So that's why I try my hand at paid and unpaid contests and things like that. So being able to even be a finalist in something kind of like with yours, it's really exciting to be able to put that out there for my marketing.
Well, you'll soon find out, won't you, in November?
Super excited.
You were brought up in a small city and learned how to escape the harsh words and treatment from your classmates at an early age. You dove into worlds that allowed you to find people you could understand and who would be kind to you. I understand this completely. Even as an adult, when the world gets a bit too much and reality a bit too hard to bear, a great book with a wonderful story can help to harden the soft edges, can't it?
Yes, absolutely.
So
it's one of those things.
Go on.
Oh, go ahead.
No, please carry on.
I was just going to say, it's one of those things that at an early age, I knew that even with having friends, having something else to talk about too. I mean, it's kind of nice to know that there are book clubs out there. I mean, I was invited to one that read my book. They've been going at this for 17 years. Wow. So, reading is not a dead art. It's not a dead, entertainment field that everyone keeps saying it is. So
no, of course it isn't. Of course it isn't.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you haven't had a rotten time, to read a book, you find yourself in another world. You make friends with new characters. You experience stuff. Most definitely. So, where can Book Talk Radio Club listeners purchase The Thornless Rose?
They can purchase it on Amazon, and they can do it as a paperback or an e-reader. And then I do, if they're in the Missouri area, I do go to like festivals and fairs, mostly in the Northwest Missouri area. So that's kind of the only thing that I can do right now, especially with having something that's print on demand. It's a lot easier just to send them to that.
Sure. And listeners, I must tell you that Samantha is actually talking from a car at the moment because she's actually she's attending a fair. Do you want to just tell us about that?
Oh, yeah, it's really cool. It's actually over in the state of Kansas, in a small town, and they have it's called the Maple Leaf Fall Festival. So this is kind of the time for people to go out and explore and do homemade crafts, or like us, we're selling books, and just giving people the opportunity to maybe start their shopping early. So that's why we like to do a lot of these things, is just to get the word out about, not only about me, but also about my writing guild that I'm in. So we all kind of do it together.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Samantha. Please come back on Book Talk Radio Club when you've published your next book, and I'd love to chat with you and hear more. In the meantime, good luck for the future, and thank you, everyone, for listening to Book Talk Radio Club. Thank you, Samantha.
Thank you, Claire.
My pleasure. Good luck with your day.
Thank you. You too.
All right, then. All right.